So today I want to give you 5 tips on hiking the Juan De Fuca Trail. So I recently hiked the Juan De Fuca Trail in its entirety from Botanical Beach down to China Beach. I did that in 4 days, and I want to give you some tips and tricks, especially if this is your first time hiking the Juan De Fuca Trail.
Intro.
Okay, the first one, and this may seem obvious, but it's true, is be prepared. You got to be prepared going out there. It's a West Coast trail, so you're going to be getting a lot of roots and a lot of rocks. There's going to be slippery bits. There's going to be super muddy bits. I almost lost my shoe. If it wasn't for me wearing gaiters, that probably would have came off and stayed in the mud. Be prepared for drastic weather changes. The weather can change out there so quickly. It is a trail on the West Coast, and the weather can change in an instant out there, so be prepared for that. I lost my rain cover for my backpack, so I had to improvise and use my tent fly to cover my backpack, and it was fine, but just that was one thing I didn't actually check before I left. Last time I went hiking, I had it, so I just assumed that it was there, and that was stupid of me to assume, so don't do that. And be mentally and physically prepared. Now, what I mean by mentally prepared is, yeah, all that other stuff is gonna happen, so you should be mentally prepared for it. Physically prepared, honestly, you have to be in better shape than what you probably think to get through this hike. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of maneuvering around and getting over roots and rocks and stuff, so be sure that you're physically fit to do this. Number 2 is pack light and efficiently. So your sleeping bag, your sleeping pad, your pillow, and your tent should all probably be less than 5 pounds. You had your clothes in there. I didn't take that much clothes because it was only 4 days. Just you want to keep your pack as light as possible because you're going over trees, you're going over roots and rocks, and there's a lot of muddy areas, so the lighter the pack, the easier that you can move through all of that stuff. So pack light and efficiently. So pack light meals as well. The dehydrated meals have come a long way in the last few years, and they're actually kind of delicious and flavorful. They are, however, full of sodium. There is a lot of sodium in these, so be careful of that. They're great, lightweight, full of protein, full of carbs, everything you need for a long hike like that. Don't bring like canned goods and like jars of peanut butter and big bags of nibs and stuff. Just keep it nice and light. So number 3 is know the trail. And I don't mean memorize the trail step by step, but at least have a physical map or a downloaded map from like All Trails or something like that, or on your GPS, something that will help you out. So when I was out there, I got to like a fork in the road, and you could either go right or left, and left had a bunch of footprints going that way. So I was like, okay, I'll just go that way. Without checking my All Trails map, I went that way, and it turned out to be the wrong way. And it was probably the worst part of the hike. It was the muddiest part. So if I'd just taken a second to pull out my phone and look at my All Trails map, it more than likely would have told me to go around the other way, but I just followed the footsteps because I'm an idiot, and it got me lost.
Go the wrong way. If you can see there, the bridge, that's the way I should have went. I didn't go that way. I went a completely different and more ridiculously hard way. I assume that way was all paved and nice. And
the trail is very, very well marked, except in certain spots like that where it's not marked. So sometimes the trail can change because trees drop or stuff like that, and they just haven't had time to go out and update the markers. So number 4 is to get to your campsite early. I can't stress this enough, especially in the summertime and especially on the weekends. You're going to want to get there as early as possible so you can get yourself a tent pad. You'll have a hard time finding a tent pad if you get to one of these places late. Now, I've heard some people say that you can reserve them, but as far as I know, it's first come, first serve. So keep that in mind. Sombrio, you can just camp along the beach. Bear Beach, you can actually camp on parts of the beach as well, but it's nice to have the tent pad. They're really good tent pads there, so get there early so they don't fill up and you have a decent place to stay and you're not scrambling to try to find somewhere to stay. Number 5 is just stay safe and have fun. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what you're doing. Be careful going through the mud. And most of all, just have fun. Just make the best of it. Enjoy the views.
And this is why we do it. This is why we're out here and we're hating life for a little bit, so we can come here and enjoy this even more. It makes it that much more special when you make it to a spot like this. Did you want to see it as well? I didn't even think about that.
Take your time, have fun, and make it an amazing trip. I hope these tips have helped you. I hope you do get out and do the Juan De Fuca Trail. It is strenuous but amazing, and it's something that you should at least do once in your life. Get out there and do it. It is incredible. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for more travel tips and advice and more adventures and things.